How's it going? Worked out I could put the iPad in the holder sideways. So, it was kind of half a day today at work. So, a couple of things running through my mind today. So I've got this is basically brand new, one cut old bar, 20 inch. It's not a Stihl brand. That bar is on my 039. So yeah. So I'm just having a look. I've got 18 or a 20. I reckon I'll have no worries pulling a 20. What are they, 65cc or something? I know that one is. I don't know about this one. I didn't measure the piston or the ball. But I'll go over to the other shed and have a look for a chain while I'm over there. I'll cut that off because I'm running this air filter plate. So while I'm over there, I'll measure the hole I've got to cut out on the top cover here, and then I might have to alter the throttle linkage so it stays on. I've got to take that stud out of there, put it on this. So yeah, I'll come back when I'm pulling this plate back off. I wrecked a perfectly good filter for nothing, but I've got some over there from Sean. I've even got this one, I can clean it. That one will still work, I just got to clean it. I can't, there's no fleece missing, I can't see. I can see through it, but I can't see the fleece. You know what I mean, I showed you on the 32 filter. Yeah. I should be right with the throttle linkage by the looks of that, with the choke rod. Just want to hold it from slipping out. Catch you then. How's it going? Changed my mind. We just used the 18 off the 032. Because I know it's sharp. And it just started raining, so I haven't been out of the room yet. If we get a chance, look up these guys. I've had this bar 3 to 4 years now. Yeah, four years ago. $50 posted to my door. It's just type 3. Sprocket nose, lemonade bar. I haven't had to dress it once, and it's cut, I don't know, a 6x4 cage trailer plus tray back ute full. Well, I've sharpened the chain. Well, this was brand new. It's a Carlton chain. So it's got that much life left. Probably half a chain. That's hand filed. Takes chunks out of my fingers. And I'm going to use the bar nuts off the O32 on this. So it must have had just by fluke, it must have had an 18-inch bar on it. Or a 20 really, when you think about it. That's a bit hot. So I'm going to double spike this one as well. There's spikes down there off the 041 Farm Boss side cover. This is the dirtiest part of the saw here. Everything else is clean. I've even thought about putting some polish on this saw, but I reckon it's a grey, not a white, so yeah. So beautiful, excuse me. Homemade bar nuts. I might have a bit of trouble with my tool on this saw because it's a bit close. No, beautiful. So just snug it up a little bit. So I can still move the bar. There. You all know this procedure. Lift the tip, tighten it, tension it up. Don't need to go any tighter than that really. I normally do, but I don't on these old saws because they've got that material on the clutch, and the nuts are wearing into the paint of the side cover because it had those Nylox style nuts on it. Beautiful. Okay, the rain stopped and the sun's out again. I'll shoot over to the other shed and cut that off with the hacksaw. I'll keep the idle screw, it might actually fit. Still doesn't look long enough. But if I type that, I found a whole heap of top covers before on eBay. They're all in the States, but they've got brand new ones of these style. No switch. Excuse. So they've got a heap without that slide. So obviously the very early ones, you had to choke them to switch them off, because there's no, I'd say this was designed the same, because that hole for the kill switch in the back of the handle was obviously drilled there, and then someone's whacked this style switch in the top of this, but they got, I think it was 5 this type without the nut, and one groove here. It was $25, so $50. Then you've got like the Farm Boss style, so it's about that big all the way around. It's got, so this doesn't work because there's a piece broken off here. Otherwise I could leave it as is, but there's a piece broken. And it was, I think it was about $60 or $70 for that Farm Boss style with both of these. So it's like the S10 and the 08. It's a slide with a spring contact to shut it off, which in this case it must do it, slide it and touch that screw head there. That's what I'm guessing. I could do it to this type, but I don't have a spare earthing strap spring for the slide, so I'm sticking with the kill switch. I might even move it from there. I'll put it back to where it was, but I need a different type. So yeah, there's heaps of these. There's even a high top, red top, the same as the orange. So it's got your groove for that. I think it was around 70 or 80. That's price plus postage. Postage is more than the price of the part. Because I'm in Australia, no one in Australia's got one on eBay. I could probably find someone that's got one off a Facebook group. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. I don't really want to do it, so I've only got to open up where the slide's taken the paint off. Probably to here, up, across and there. It's only to fit that in, if you can see. So I'll remove the slide. You're only going to cut what's not. Where the slide's sitting. Actually, if I look at it a bit better this way. I've got to take out here. So from where my fingernail's sitting, across, and then probably halfway up till about there, and across in a square. So that's going to be fun with my Dremel. I've got a burr bit I use for porting. I'll just use that because I haven't got anything else. So I could probably use the Dremel with the cutting wheel on it, but yeah, anyway, I'll come back to you when I've done that and we'll go from there. Uri. Alrighty, how's it going? So I fixed the switch. It's tight. I cleaned it up on my wire wheel, and I've ported the choke where the choke's going to sit, and as you can see, I cut almost halfway through, and then I thought I'll leave it. I'll just saw off the idle screw off the case, because the saw's not going anywhere, it's staying with me. So and if I can't find another crankshaft, cylinder, piston, muffler, carby, fly, no, I don't need a flywheel because I've got one for my farm boss, then I'll use this one. But it's a red top, it's old, it's cool, it's staying with me. So yeah, and I've got this super RTV grey because the red's just, you know, it looks alright on this saw because it's red and white, but when you come to a yeah, you know what I mean, I think. So I just blew it off with the compressor. I got it all over me, the aluminium filings. So now, carby plate. It's a whole lot easier having it like that. So yeah, I'll just take this off. I'm going to use this around the gaskets broken there, if you can see it. I probably could cut that out. Oh, sorry, cut that out, or I think there's another one floating around the bench here that come out of the kit, because there was two and I used one on this for memory. Well, yeah, I used one. And I can't take a stud out of the block and put it in there because it's longer, I think. So I can go there, or to take the bolt the nut back out. Can you see what I'm doing? I'll have a look in a sec. Yep. So when this is all done, I'll start him up in here. And see how it performs. Might even tune it in here. I know it does get get loud. I was watching back footage from yesterday, today at work on my iPad. I don't need to use RTV, the gasket's still there, so yeah. So I'll try and peel as much off this as I can. There's just a little bit left right there. I think it broke because there was actually gasket sealant there already on there. There's a bit right there. You can see that, yep. Not to worry. I did notice back on the footage might have to raise this a touch to get the choke off. I did notice back on the footage it sounded like it was leaking like the O32, but remember I reused that old gaskets and diaphragm in the carby, so I'll order a kit from Sean one day. Grommet, it's going to be a different size. The grommet's going to have a fair hole even with the wire, so I'll just leave it out. And I don't think I'll be able to put this down. No. So I'm going to have to saw off the throttle idle bit. I think that the plate on the throttle plate on the side of the carby, I think it's bent, to be honest. I don't think that's why you can use the idle screw, because it's bent. Try that. Can't really see in here with this light. Yeah, I think this carb is more modern day. So if I cut this off the case, if I cut it off the case, I should be able to use that because it's the same carb that's in my other one, but in saying that, so to give you a fair idea of what I'm talking about, when I screw the idle screw all the way in, it doesn't even touch the throttle plate, and it's where the screw is right where the bend stops. So it's like it's got to be a little bit higher and a little bit longer. So if I use that, that'll put it down into the right position. So I've just got to cut that bit off the case. But to do that, I'll probably have to take the top handle back off, this handle. Or I can use my air hacksaw, which is what I might do. So I'll switch this off while I do that because I'll have to bring it in here. And it's a petrol compressor, so I'll do that, we'll come back. How's it going? So my body saw's stuffed. It's missing the grub screw that holds it onto the threads there. I just took the blade out, spun it back on, and as soon as I put it into the saw, it just stopped working again. So yeah, it's started, but unless I can use it like a hacksaw, that might work. Seems to be working, but the teeth are really small, so it is aluminium, or you know what I mean. Magnesium cast, alloy, whatever. I'm getting there. I'll come back when I'm finished. Welcome back, how's it going? Look at this. It's gone. Brightness. Can you see it in there? Gone. Right. Throttle cable's come off again because I just blew it out. So we'll put it back on. Okay. I'll have to lift the carby back up to put plate back down, and I'm guessing lift this plate back up because that strap that goes down is not in the right position now. Kind of hard to do because of this idle screw setup. And now the choke hits. The thing for the old choke set up. I don't think this place is going to fit at all. That in there, yeah, it's not going to fit. Oh, take it back off. Engage the choke fully. Still get to the idle screw, so that helps. Yeah, this. I've got a feeling this is slightly longer, so I'll have to swap it. It's restricting the plate going down. I don't know if you might have seen it on there, but that's what I'm doing at the moment. Swap these little support brackets over. It may have fitted, it may have not, because this one's adjustable both ends. That's the one that was on it. It's only adjustable one end. So now we might be out of trouble. I'll leave it loose. Okay, now we'll lift the carb again. Put the choke rod in, like that. Then push the carb back down. Don't lose that gasket because it's got to go back on there. Lift this support. Something's wrong here. Slot it in. It doesn't look like it's going to go into position properly. No. So you put it like so. It's completely different. That sucks. That really does. Lift that back off. It's a couple of, it'll sit a couple of mil lower. It's just this might have to go. I'll make it work. crank rod, push the carby back down, that in there, so now it's rubbing on the throttle cable linkage. Man, so ideally it's got to come up doesn't it should sit there. On the other saws it sits there. So the carby's got to come up another inch-ish, 10 mil. Pity I couldn't use that block. Throttle cables come out again. Linkage. What to do, what to do. I don't want to stack another 4 or 5 bloody gaskets on top. And I can't really use washers. Try a couple of gaskets. This stuff's pretty thick, it might hold it off just enough. Maybe. Normally don't do this, everyone, so I just want this saw to work the way I'm going about it. See that? It's rubbing on the throttle linkage. I can't bend it because then it'll be revving. Ideally it needs to be sitting there. What a pain. If I had another one of those Bakelite blocks, it'd work. And the only thing I can think about with the old choke setup so it's broken whatever it's used to sit there to hold the rod in place. I could probably pop it in between the spring. It probably won't work, so that's out of that question. Only thing I can think of right now is cut that block off. That's if the holes go all the way through. Pity I couldn't just use that. It would have given me the right height straight away. Anyway. What a bummer. That's not even the right. Oh, it's for the bottom. So the choke's a bigger butterfly. I don't know if it's hitting there or where. I thought this would have been done today. Thought wrong. So I don't know if by bending the choke rod it will fix it. So how about I have a look. Sitting it high. Up there. can't grind it away because it's where the spring loaded ball is. Frustrating. Why couldn't I just use that block? It's slightly different cylinder. So now I've got no idle if I go back the other way. I can't bend the throttle linkage because it will make it rev anyway. Keeps popping out. It is slightly bent. Be careful doing this. Try that. It's probably not even going to go in now. Yeah, it holds it at half throttle though. Jesus. I don't know what to do, people. It's really annoying. Just like the throttle cable falling out constantly. Fucking hell. think that's right either. Chokes, watch this, all the way off. It sits up there. Don't think that's right. Maybe the block's around the back to front. Can't be. So if you push this choke, that's apparently off. Sits about there. So that's apparently off. Whereas that's off, it sits too high. Might end up being a farm boss shortly. Still no good to me because the cylinder's different. I can't use that block. Intake manifold. But I could probably still use this choke rod as a choke. And I've got no idle screw. Do I? It's doable, I think. Carby doesn't want to go down now. Yes it will, because I put it in the right spot. Then I still can't use a decent air filter. So I'll put the choke on, feed that through there. Still got no choke. So I'm stuffed either way. Sucks. That's what it does. Sucks. See how long it takes to start it. Now the throttle linkage is getting caught on the choke. Choke's off. Running better today. So throttle linkage, choke linkage keeps popping out of that spot. I've got the carby twisted a little bit too much, so I'm going to fix that up. Tell you what, Stihl is going to be the death of me, I think. It's hitting. It's hitting something. The throttle linkage. It's hitting the bottom of the filter base. Excuse me. I don't know if it's because it's not strapped down there where it needs bending again. I'm not going to go any more than that, it's too much. And keeps fucking popping out. So, regardless if I like it or not, it's got to stay as is by looks. So I'll put this adjustable support back on. Take it outside and give it a cut, maybe. It is way louder than my other one. Probably because this one's got four slits in the muffler outlet, whereas my other one's got two. So I'll leave that loose. Put that on there. Put the choke on so nothing falls in there. I'll tune it better outside as well. So that's back on. It might start pretty well without the choke. On a cold day it might not. What am I missing? This screw back in there. Pliers. Smoky in here. It wasn't smoky yesterday when I started it up. But yeah, that doesn't seem to want to go in there. It's going in. There we go. So, yeah. Put some bar oil in it, make sure it's oiling. It's set flat out. It sounded like I started cracking something. I'll put this back on. Choke off. It's just going to fall out of there. I don't get it. Try and opened up a bit there. Chokes off and it's sitting there. Kill switch. Needs to be spun around. No, won't do that either. Guess. So it's not really going to seal on it. Why? It actually is working. Cool. But once you start cutting, you think that block's on backwards. I've got that much gap this side and nothing this side. Doesn't matter. Put some oil in it. Nearly out of bar oil as well. So 3/4 of a tank. So it doesn't. I'll put the old cap. The old cap is leaking, wasn't it? Yeah, it's missing the valve. So we won't put the old cap back in it. Catches outside. Greases 041. 18-inch bar. We'll give it a cut. Still tuning it, but yeah. Sawdust out of my mockos. There's. See, cat's good. So just a update again. Kill switch doesn't work. I had to pop the cover and touch the top of the switch on the handle to earth it out. But she's a beast. You guys will see when I get the video up. If any of you subscribed to my channel and just have this slide with the little doohickey that comes out there to hold the choke rod in, hit me up. It's obviously got to be posted to Australia, and it doesn't really matter now because I've done that to the top cover. Sorry, I keep looking at myself. So yeah, but I'll do a cold start tomorrow. Sorry, I'll do a cold start tomorrow without choke and see how long it takes. But I just did 2 cuts just now, and the choke rod is still sitting in there because I've bent it to sit in there. So yeah, I'll give it another run tomorrow. At the current settings to make sure it idles good without the idle screw non-existent anymore. Not that it was doing anything anyway. I literally shut this saw off 3 minutes ago and I can touch the muffler, so yeah, it's a beast, and it's dangerous with an 18-inch bar. So before it goes on the I'll have to hang this up because I've got no room left on shelves. So before I hang it up, I'll whack that spike on the inner. It's got one here. I'll put another one on the inner. I might even take them off and hit them with a wire wheel, make them look like the one on the 032 wherever it's gone. I've got an 18-inch Stihl bar somewhere. I'll put that on it. Yeah, still got it somewhere. The original one off my 310, I've still got it. Just because there's no paint left on it, it looks old. Chains, I need to buy probably 3 more 18-inch chains. So I've got an 18-inch bar on my A34. There you go. Yeah, 18-inch on the A34, which I haven't cut with yet. Might do that tomorrow or Monday. Might even do once this one's, well, I don't really need to run it in because this cylinder and the rings are matched. So I might even do a head-to-head, this one versus, so old versus newer. Excuse me, that's got a 20-inch on it though, so. This one feels heaps stronger in the cut than that one, but it could just be because I put the module, so this is electronic ignition now, whereas that one's steel points, I'm pretty sure, but come to think of it, I can't remember. It might be electronic. Anyway, so that's that. My 07s, both of them need new mufflers. I do have an 090 muffler that I'm going to try and fit to one, but I've got to make up a spacer. So I've got, I think it's 6mm, so 65mm flat bar. I think it's 5 or 6mm thick. So I've got to make up a spacer, and I've got to get longer studs and nuts. So I might put that up. This is cooling down real quick. What else? So my HT75 whippersnipper, I might get into that tomorrow. So I'm going to take the shaft back off, the front cover, access the clutch, so I think it's got lazy springs. It doesn't spin while it's idling, but it sounds like, you know, like when your springs get lazy on your clutch on your chainsaw, and it makes that funny rattle noise, like probably like this was just doing before. I just want to check it out. It could even be the bearing on the sprocket, which isn't on a whippersnipper obviously, but it's got a drive cup. It could be the bearing on it, if there's a bearing in there. I might check the compression on my other 032, because the new one feels a hell of a lot stronger than that one, and that cuts quicker than that one, but I don't think I'll split the cases. I'll just pop the cylinder off. I'll check the compression, and if it's, you know, less than 130, then I'll put new rings in it. But while I've got the handlebar off and the carby, I'll finish painting it. I've got still got to get bits for me ported 024. I've got to get air filter cover, MS260 oil pump and worm gear, and sprocket, because they're not interchangeable. That's the old type. Actually, I'll show you. Got the bag of goodies here. So this is your old type oil pump. Sits on the saw that way. So this side in, it sits on that way. And your worm gear goes in there, and when you tighten your clutch, it tightens down on the worm gear, and that's what drives the pump. And the sprocket, there's no notch, and it's thinner. There's no notch to drive the worm gear. So those three components I need to replace. There is resistance in the pump, but it could be full of crap. Never really looked. This is my dodgy. I don't need to now. I've got hose there that's the right size, but this is a old fuel hose out of a MS 170. Does the same thing. I just cut the grommet off. So that pump still feels like it'll work. Actually, I can hear it working. It didn't pump oil though. It might be full of sawdust. So that could be going back together. I can hear it pumping air. So it might still be good. It could be just this. So this pumps out of the OEM 024 that's right there, because I put that pump in that because when I got that saw it wasn't pumping oil, but it'll work. I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You hear it popping it out bubbles. It might work. Just as long as the worm spins it, which I don't think. It could be the worm drive, actually. No, it seems to be spinning. So we might whack that back together. Stupid dog. So yeah, I've got the 024. It can probably be cleaned and go back together. I'm eager to see it cut in the wood. Pretty impressive for the size saw they are, really. I mean, I've had a 16-inch bar on Windsor bar, full chisel, full comp chain, cutting 16 to 18-inch wood, and it is a little bit slow, but you know, I'm not in a hurry when I go out bush. I want to be out there as long as I can. So I've got that. I've got this. My 020 needs a top end. Ideally, it's a little bit scored on the muffler side, but it runs, it cuts. I've given it a muffler mod. It's got the Pharmatech muffler on it, and starter. Everything else is original. So the Pharmatech muffler. Drill 2 holes here because it shoots out this way. You guys might even know. Pharmatech Stihl. I've tensioned this rope 3 times. It just tends to stay there like that. Fuel cap from Sean. Just did do a fuel hose. I got this in a box. I got this in a box with the 024, that one there, the 026 next to it, the 019T, the 5500 partner that's on the wall here, without a starter, and a big bucket of chains, plus the motor for the HT75, $70. That's $70 Australian, just in case you haven't caught on yet. They all run. 019T is missing the sprocket cover, that's it. And every time I see one come up for sale, they never post. The one bloke had one for one complete one and one for parts. I think it was $120. He wouldn't post, and they sold within half an hour really. So I was spewing, and then another bloke out at Geelong, which is 60 k's from me, posted one up for $350. I thought that's way too high for what they are, because they're just like an entry level arborist saw. It lasted 2 days. So yeah, I'm just rambling on. So that might need a top end, which I'll get from Sean, because I'm pretty sure he does them. Excuse me. So part of the 1200A, it's scored, but it revs, but it won't idle. My 250 Mac needs a sprocket 404 pitch. All I want to do is make one cut, so I might weld up the sprocket, grind it pretty flush, do one cut or two cuts, then it's going to go back on the shelf. My S10 red top right there. Never cut with it. I've started it 3 times in 4 years. Still runs on the points. I've never touched the points. Haven't changed the plug. It's still got the original fuel in it that I put in it when I did the paint job, probably before I did the paint job. And the Stihl saw 1629. I can't cut with it. The previous owner's taken too much off the rakers. Same as the XL103 rakers are too low. Super 2 I haven't cut with, and the 620 I might actually go out to the shed tomorrow and see what the spare one's like for parts. I can angle yours up a bit without breaking anything. Yeah, it doesn't want to. So I'll fair reach, undo yours, put yours there. Actually, when I get close to the light, so where the mount for the handle, that's a different handlebar. Well, I know. So the case is broken right there where this mounts, and this side, the flywheel case, you can move it like that. The oiler works, clutch is good, the starter doesn't go. So yeah, there's no air filter, it's just the carby out the intake, and that's it. might even make up a, you know, the little pocket dirt bikes style with a pod filter sort of thing. I'll make up one of them for it, because I've got a bike here, just the mounting plate might be a bit different. So yeah, everything I've got's good. And I've still got to do the Shindaiwa 22F. Is it an F whippersnipper? I actually used it start of the week. So I've still got to straighten the shaft, find an air filter, clean the shaft, the cylinder, pretty much the whole thing. I still haven't mounted the Stihl. It's down on the floor there still, next to the other one. So there's a fair bit to come. There's still a fair bit I haven't put up on YouTube. So I've still got 2 parts for the A32, actually 3 parts. Then I've got all of this 041, the Super 2. So if I'm not back tomorrow, being Sunday the 27th, I will be putting videos up. Have a good one everyone. Hooroo.